It is now the first competitive league game of the new season. A lot of business has actually been done, surprisingly, so we have a lot to get through today. Also, we're playing Newcastle back to back, once in the Super Cup and once in the league opener. It's going to be a long one, but it should be a good one. Let's just get to it. This is Average Gamer. My name is Duncan. Welcome back to the Journeyman. So hi everyone, welcome back. Let's do this in terms of outs first. We have sold Malik Van Dessel. We sold him for £33.5 million to Real Madrid. We have brought in his replacement. We cost a little bit more money on it. He's younger. He's not as good yet, but he definitely can be as good. We have Tariq Aina there. We have the youngster we keep sending out on loan. He's now in the first team squad. Our squad's actually too big to register everybody for the league, so we've missed out a goalkeeper. It's fine. Excuse me. So yeah, this was the first guy gone in the window. Actually, the first player left on loan, but we'll get to him when we get to the ins. But outside of that, Van Dessel has left the club on a £33.5 million deal to Real Madrid. Next on the list of outs was Jose Pinheiro. We sold him for £50 million to Newcastle. We bought him for $50 million. We sold him for $50 million. It made sense, for all parties, I think. We are sticking with Norris. I offered him a new deal. So that is that decision being made. We have now brought in a replacement. So with the fee for Van Dessel and Pinheiro, we have replaced both of them with younger players who can both develop. Maybe in the goalkeeping sense, not as much as Pinheiro, but we should have Norris for like the next decade. And we've still got money left over from those transfers. It made a lot of sense when we wanted to give the squad a new feel. So he was the second player to leave the club. Now, I'm saying leave as in when I agreed the deals, and like when the deals were all finalised. But for example, Pinheiro left first, and then Van Dessel technically left second, but the deal was agreed in that order. You'll get why I'm saying this, because his fee isn't actually in this season's transfers. Weirdly, not really sure why. Let's go to the next player, who we put out the club. And next to leave was Chang Hyuk, but not on a permanent. He's away out on loan to Rennes to get first team football. I wasn't convinced that him, Diallo, were good enough options as backups. I wanted realistically to get preferably both out on loan, but we only managed to get one so far anyway, and that was Chang Hyuk, and he will develop well on loan at Rennes. I honestly don't think there's much we can argue that with him. Last season he made 29 appearances, scoring 7 goals and getting 1 assist. Maybe not the best stats in the world, but he done okay. Hopefully another loan spell at a good club at a good level will help him develop into the player that I think we all know he can be as that perfect Jones long-term replacement. And the next player to leave was Alessandro Galasso to Real Madrid. We are getting £31.5 million, definitely up front, but the fee could rise to $42 million. I like Galasso. It's the reason I've signed him now for 2 clubs. He is a good player, but for us, we signed him for $35 million. He made all in all 28 appearances for the club. I think he did okay, but there was interest in him and needed to start getting some more English players out. The club had lost a couple, so for me, his position became one that we could cash in on, and like as it says there, like potential including add-ons is $41 million. We'll probably make our money back on him and then make a little bit of a profit on him, and we have a decent enough backup, which I think for what we're trying to do is fine. He wasn't the second coming of Lucas Gomez. His replacement isn't the second coming of Lucas Gomez. But they're solid enough players. But yeah, it made sense to move them on. I thought we could get a decent fee from him, and I genuinely feel like we did. So yeah, Galasso left, and he went to Real Madrid. Next to leave was Lee Ji Duk. We sold him for £11.5 million. And considering we signed him on a free, I again thought this made perfect sense for us. He came in exactly to be what he was, and that was a backup. He made 11 appearances for the club. None spectacular, but it was okay in any game he played for us. We put him out on loan for the second half of last season, but again, he didn't really play much, but now he is left to Al-Shabaab for £11.5 million. Complete profit, and we have brought in another midfielder. We'll get to him later on as well. For me, this is actually one of the better bits of business that we did out in the summer. We sold Fabio Pizzi for, I think it was £9 million to Chelsea. This guy came through our system, played a grand total of 7 games for the club, and he spent the past few seasons out on loan, where he's done okay, but he was never going to be first choice here at the club. I think that is completely fair to say. So Chelsea brought him in as a backup goalkeeper. I'm assuming, I'll be very surprised if he's a first choice. He has very good stats for some things, though. Like, don't get me wrong, he is not a bad goalkeeper. In fact, he's probably better in some aspects than other goalkeepers we have. But as a total package, the 6'6" goalkeeper just is not as good as options we now have at the club. And to get £9 million for him was a great bit of business. And do you know what? I actually will just come straight to the next guy. Abraham, we have sold him as well for £10.75 million. He was another youngster that came through our system, spent 2 seasons out on loan at Middlesbrough. Second season, a hell of a lot better than the first. In fact, he went out in the January that's the summer we came in. And then a season out on loan at Anderlecht last year. He was never going to make it at us, but, you know, £10 million to Torino. That's £19.75 million for 2 youngsters who are never going to make it at the club. Pure profit. Straight into the transfer budget. Honestly, really happy with that bit of business. Next, probably the biggest sale we had all summer so far. And this one bit of business is one that fans weren't happy about, but I personally was delighted. We sold Antonio Villegas to Real Madrid, and we sold him for £109 million. Honestly, I think that's a good bit of business. In terms of goal scoring, I don't think he's ever going to beat Warren Jones. In terms of the number 10 role, Sinval started performing better than him there. Sinval is younger. He's 29. It felt like maybe the last 1 or 2 seasons that we could get a fee, a good fee for him. Again, we're trying to make a bit of space in the squad. £109 million for Villegas, to me, made absolute perfect sense. That is a very good fee for a guy that we signed in 26-27. I say we as in the club, for £8.5 million, and we've sold him all these years later for £109 million. So far, we have sold 2 more players of note anyway. I can't remember if we sold more. Let's show you them 2 very, very briefly. Well, we're doing one at least, very briefly, because I don't even know if you'd have seen this guy. And I'm going to butcher his first name, so I'm just going to say second name of Erdem. We sold him to Sporting Lisbon for £8 million. The club signed him for £9 million from Germany before we arrived. Never made any appearances for the club. He went out on loan to Wigan, then on loan to Samsonspor, then on loan to Utrecht, and now sold to Sporting Lisbon. But if you take the overall loan fees as well, we actually have made our money back on him. We brought him in for £9 million as in the club. And if you include the loan fees, he has brought in £9.5 million. So, you know, a little bit of profit, nothing major. But he was never, again, another guy, never really making it with the club. Made sense just to move him on. And the last sell we have done is Luke Ernst to Barcelona in a deal, I think it's worth £36 million. Yeah, £36 million. We made a little loss on him, but honestly, I'm not too upset. He was a good option for us. Do not get me wrong, he was a good option. arguably our third best defensive midfield player. But we have Marin, we have Solheim, who is coming on to such a good game. We have another DM that we've bought. We also have 2 DMs that we bought, but we'll get to that in a minute. But all of that, in total, I'm happy with. I think moving him on wasn't the worst idea. It gave us a bit more space in the squad. We lost 2 defensive mids. We brought in 1 for the first team. I'm happy. I wonder if you'll be. But in terms of outs, we have brought in round about 300 million in this window. Let's now get to the ins. And if we're starting with the ins, we may as well start with 1, the guy who was signed first, and secondly, the guy we all knew was coming in. Gabriel Slonina came in on a £1.9 million deal on a 1-year contract that we have the option to extend, and I believe he can't, it's just me that can extend this one. Oh god, I've hit the wrong button. There we go. But yes, Slonina has come in. Just going to be a backup goalkeeper for the club. He's an emergency backup, and he's solid enough. He's not going to win. Like, if you look at the goalkeeping technical thing, PC was probably a little bit better overall, but everything else he wasn't. But he's an emergency backup. He is literally third choice. And as things stand, he's not even registered for the league. We can't register him, but for just shy of £2 million for a third choice, solid enough goalkeeper who'll only at most be back up to the second choice unless there's injury crisis, I'm genuinely very happy with this business. I have 0 complaints. Let's go to our second signing of the summer, and technically our first out of the summer. It's the same man. And that man, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, is named Juan Carlos Guzman. He is the defensive midfield player that we have signed on a deal that was worth £7.5 million. He was coming in kind of as another kind of Solheim build, but technically he has a lot of work he needs to do. So we offered him out on loan. The whole plan was we'll sign him, put him out on loan, get him regular first team football. To my surprise, the club that came in and offered him, or said to us that they wanted to play him regularly as a regular starter, was Manchester City. So we have gave our title rivals our young star on loan for the season. Yeah, I'm as surprised as you are, genuinely. But that is what happened. And I agreed to deal. Because they have amazing facilities, they have really good coaches. He'll develop with the training, and he'll probably get the game time. As long as they stick to what they agreed with, like us, that they'll give him, he's going to play. So, instead of playing for us occasionally, he actually might play regularly for the title favourites for the season. I don't see this as bad business. Maybe the 7.5 million spend was a bit high, but I don't really think it was either. So yeah, this was our second signing. I'm actually going to show you our third signing because it's this guy, Ole Falstar. He doesn't join until next summer because I didn't realise that we couldn't sign under 18 Danish players until they were 18. Like, they couldn't come to the club, so he's joining us on June next year. 6'1" centre half, left-sided, fairly solid stats. I think he'll develop quite nicely into a very good and a very solid centre half. Hopefully he'll get a lot of first team football at Copenhagen. He is in the under 19s, which isn't ideal, but even if he comes to us as an 18-year-old, we'll get him out on loan. We'll get him game time, if we're still here, that is, obviously. But yeah, that is signing number 3. We signed him in a deal worth overall £6 million. But our first big chunk of change and our next signing was this man, Kane Royals. Left wing back, a complete wing back on attack. He, in theory, should be our left-sided Lucas Gomez. Now, we'll see over the course of the season if this case. We tried to sign him between January and the summer. We wanted to bring him in for the summer, but he had a release clause then of £79 million. We backed off. We hoped that we can maybe sign him in the summer for cheaper. And we did. He had a relegation release clause of £39.5 million, which, when we sold Van Dessel, we were very happy to sign. He's coming in to be the backup to Tariq Aina. He is absolutely a more attacking option. If, for whatever reason, I think it's injured, we need a defensive option, Estrada can cover in there. Or we still have Neil McClelland. So we are very comfortable, I think, in both full-back positions, as we will very soon get to the right back side, but not quite yet. But yeah, he's pacey, or he's good to get like acceleration. Decent enough pace, good stamina. Agility balance is all there. Everything mentally is good for me. And he can work on his technical things. I think that's understandable, but he's got decent first touch crossing and technique. Defense side of the game could improve, absolutely, but like everything else, he's young, he'll develop, and genuinely think he'll be a very good squad option for the club. Next signing for us, though, was our most expensive of the summer so far, is what I meant to say. I just cut myself off far too quickly. His name is Mustafa Cisse. You may have noticed he is the second Englishman we've signed. And there's a reason for that. We needed English players in the squad. But he's come in on a £70 million deal total from Barcelona. He's not going to play centre mid. He's going to be playing deep line playmaker for us as the backup to Malkov. And I think we have made a very, very good signing. In terms of his technical abilities, first touch isn't the greatest, but he is a fantastic passer of the ball. He makes good decisions, decent off the ball, everything you kind of want mentally is there, and with that high determination rate, he will continue to develop. In terms of physical sense, he's quick enough, 15 acceleration, 15 pace. Strength could maybe work a little bit more, but it's 13. He's got very good stamina. I am very, very happy and excited that we have signed this young 21-year-old to play a key role as a squad option in our midfield. If this was our most expensive signing, funnily enough, our next signing was our cheapest signing of the summer. In fact, I don't think we'll get anyone as cheap for this summer. And the reason he's so cheap is we got him on a free. Jason Van, I'm hoping it's Duyven or Duvin. I'm not really sure. So right now we're just going to call him Jason. He is a 32-year-old striker. He is coming in, basically taking Chang Hyuk's place in the squad. He's a squad option / backup. If we could get Diallo out on loan and bring in a genuine quality second option, we will absolutely do that. But while we had Diallo, while we still had Chang Hyuk, if we're bringing in a striker, kind of needed to be a bit on the cheaper side. And for free, I will take it. Scored 119 goals in 260 league appearances for Monaco in the space of a decade. Scored 11 for Udinese in 32 league appearances over 2 seasons. I think he looks solid enough as well. He's fast, good natural fitness. He's not the tallest, but he's got good finishing. I think he'll be absolutely fine as a squad option alongside Jones and Diallo. And if we need to, Lesueur and everyone else who can play striker. I am very comfortable with what we have up front. Next, well, that was our backup right back. And surprise, surprise, another young Englishman, 24-year-old Alex Cotter, has signed on a if I can read my own handwriting, £7 million deal. Total, 15 up front with a potential to reach 27 million for Alex Cotter from Manchester United. Tall enough, he is fairly pacey, marking, passing, tackling's all okay, decent enough positioning, good work rate, concentration, decisions is all high, okay crossing. I think he'll be a solid backup for Lucas Gomez. He'll never be Lucas Gomez, and I don't expect him to be. I don't expect him to get the number of assists or anything like that, but I genuinely think as a second choice right back, and we have McClelland there as well, he is fine. He's absolutely fine. He's absolutely serviceable in that position. And since we're just placing backup with backup, we got him cheaper than we sold Golasso for. So, overall for me, that is a win. Let's move on then to our second last signing of the summer so far. And his name is Antonio Amato. He is a 22-year-old, 6'2" goalkeeper that we signed for a deal worth a total of £8.5 million from Inter Milan, I think. So considering that we sold Pizzi for, £9 million, we brought him in for cheaper than that. And considering we sold Pinheiro for 50, we definitely brought him in cheaper than that he is our second choice goalkeeper for the season. He can develop a little bit, but again, he's coming in to be backup. His passing is probably the only thing I have that I'm not happy with, but everything else, I think he looks fine. I have absolutely no doubt early cup rounds, some European games, even some league games, he will be absolutely fine. Norris, as we said, is our first choice for the foreseeable future. I don't really see any other need to have a Pinheiro quality goalkeeper. So I'm very happy to have a Mattel, and then if worst comes to worst, we still have Slonina. Goalkeeping position, honestly, I'm pretty delighted. Plus, he's 22, we'll probably make a profit on him whenever we decide to sell, if we ever decide to sell. So yeah, very happy. Very happy. Let's move on to the last signing of the summer so far. And that last signing is Carlos Taboas. We also signed him from Leeds. He also had the relegation release clause. It was 33 million. There was ourselves, Juventus, and another English side were all bidding for him. He is a different wide player to what we have had at Arsenal, but we have had this type of wide player before. The issue we've had is we've never made it work before, but I genuinely think we can this time. What I like about him, he is pacey as all hell. He has a fantastic first touch, good passing ability. Mentally, he is fantastic. But he is a playmaker. He is an advanced playmaker out wide. We probably could get away with him being a winger, but I don't think that would suit his strengths too much. But I think as an advanced playmaker, it absolutely will. He's also got 14 long shots, so if we get him outside the box, that is not the worst thing in the world. He's coming in as a squad player. He will be back up to Derry, who we still have Diabate, who I'm probably going to play in a lot more as a number 10 this season. But yeah, this is the last signing we've made so far. So all in all, I think we worked out it was about 300 million we brought in. We've spent about 161.5 million this summer, which makes me feel like this might be the first window that we have actually made a profit. But we'll see. We will see. The most important thing was today's game, which is against Newcastle in the Super Cup. It is the winner of the Champions League versus winner of the Europa League. And this is our lineup for today. The issue we have, though, is a mixture of injuries and guys not fully fixed. We've just, and I do mean like just finished our last friendly a few days ago. And this is our lineup for today. Do not take this as what I feel is my strongest 11. It's not, but it's nearly there. Norris in goals. That very familiar back four of Gomez, Laskowski, Estrada and Aina. I have a couple of contracts to talk about. Guilherme will start in midfield with Cisse playing alongside him because Malkov is not fit. Vaz is playing out right wing. Sinval is taking up that number 10 spot with Derry out left and Van Duyven, Jason himself, leading the line. On the bench, Mato, Van Langen, Arndt, McClelland, Olufemi, Royals, Marin, Solheim, Taboas, Diallo, Diabate, and John Calland, a player that we signed a season ago, 2 seasons ago. He is now in the first team squad as well. Van Langen finally agreed a new contract. He was more than happy to stay as a squad player, which we are very happy about. He got a pay rise as well, but he was, when we had the talk with the agent, and he's like, yeah, he's happy to be a squad player. I was like, excellent, we're getting this deal done. And we did. I didn't need to go looking for a centre half. Van Langen is here to stay. Our new club captain, because we sold the former club captain, is Warren Jones, who has just returned from an ankle injury, a little twisted ankle. He is the new club captain, and Laskowski is still the vice captain. Olufemi is the youngster who could also become a good left back for us. So really, we're pretty sorted in the left back position. And in terms of worst case now, we can also play him at centre back. Downside is though he's 5'8", so he'll not be playing there in anything other than a back three or a very emergency cover during a game, I would like to think. I'm not even sure off the top of my head where the final's taking place. I believe Denmark. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of our signings? I'm going to say so far, but I really don't expect to make any more unless we get another big out. But we are still trying to make the squad a little bit smaller, but through loans out. There's nobody I'm actively trying to sell anymore. But yeah, this is us going into today's game. Our first league game of the season, which we'll be doing this episode as well, is also against Newcastle. So let's get into today's team. Remember, they have a former right back of ours and a former goalkeeper of ours at the club now, which makes things interesting. During the pre-season, we got an email stating that our rivalry with Manchester United is intense, so we're now classed as rivals in game, which I already thought they would have been. But hey ho. Go on, Sinval's through 1-on-1, and he slots a home pass, Pinheiro. Oh my god, the Club World Cup. Forgot all about the Club World Cup. We need to talk about the Club World Cup. We'll do that after this game. Because I just seen when it said Sinval's second goal of the season. We'll go over that before the league game. Sinval, though, through 1-on-1 with Pinheiro. And a sight that we're very used to seeing, Pinheiro losing that 1-on-1. And Sinval puts us ahead in today's game. So, defensively is where we looked, on paper you can say, was maybe the weakest part of our side. We're one of the best attacking sides in the league. But it was goals conceded that hurt us, and I've made virtually no change to that outside of backup players on fullbacks and in goals. So, I guess I'm hoping for the best. No, but I'm hoping that maybe a more steady midfield might help. And, just another season of a team playing together. Downside is we did concede a very, very easy goal to defend. Was that Maldonado? Surely not. Although he might... Martinho, there's a former player. With Leeds getting relegated, a few of their players were up for sale. Or had release clauses. So it could actually well be Maldonado. Let's just check when their team comes up. It is not. I don't even know who I thought was Maldonado. Martinho is playing left back for them, our former player. I'm trying to think if there's any other major kind of business or even inquiries that came in, but I don't generally think that there was. Oh, Vaz has hit the crossbar. That is unlucky. Derry picks up the loose ball. Puts the ball in. Vaz is not winning that. The issue that our fullbacks are going to have, or Derry putting balls out of the box, is Jason is like 5'9". He probably isn't winning a header, so maybe don't do that. But we will see. Good save there by Norris. Can we at least keep defending and not concede another? Jordan Day again? That name rings a bell. I wonder if he's one of the players that I had scouted previously. Derry plays it short to Gomez. Back to Derry. Puts it in the back post. Laskowski heads it over. I think he was offside anyway, which is not ideal. As now Newcastle are breaking forward. Okay, that was really simple, guys. Come on. One really basic long ball has just beat our Champions League winning centre-half pairing. That's terrifying. Actually terrifying. It's 2-1. Let's berate. So the team had like 1 week worth of a break from football, so that's slightly concerning, but hopefully they'll be fine. We may end up picking up injuries, but I'm hoping we'll be able to avoid that. Sinval looks absolutely shot, so we will probably make that change at half-time. Yeah, what was that? We're going to make a couple of changes actually, because Derry's not playing well, and I'm going to give to Boas a start, and we're going to bring on Diabate in to the attacking midfield option. So doing this now, we're going to put Diabate as a shadow striker. He has all the stats for it. And it allows us to play to Boas as that playmaker out left. Will it work for us today? We'll find out. Will it work long term? Well, we'll find out. But that double change is the only changes. It's a double change at half time, but it's changes we are making. Estrada's having a poor game, but he's not the only one. He saved the ball into the box, but again, 5'9" striker, probably not going to win the headers. Diabate with a really stupid foul. Like, there's no need for that. Gomez is having a really, really bad game. Day with the free kick, comes off the wall. I'm actually just going to bring Estrada off just now. And Where is my right back? He is injured. McClelland will come on then for Gomez. Let's just shore up the defence that bit more with the double change in it. Van Langen coming on for Estrada. McClelland coming on for Gomez. McClelland gets the ball to Diabate. McClelland. Cisse. Guilherme. Diabate. Back to Van Langen, who just passes straight to a Newcastle player. That doesn't help. Fucking hell. Come on, guys. Let's demand more. Fucking hell. I'm going to bring off Jason. I'm going to give John Calland a run out. John Calland is 19 years old. He's 5'10", so he's a little bit higher, but he has no jumping ability. But he might be able to maybe run the lines a bit more. He's a bit quicker. So we'll see if his pace can maybe cause this Newcastle backline a bit more trouble than Jason Van Duiven has all game. Van Duiven, it doesn't look 5'9" there. Is he 5'9"? Have I misread his height? Possibly. Diabate. Good first touch ball out to Vaz, and now we're breaking. Cuts it back for Diabate. Still Diabate has a shot off the Newcastle defender, forcing a corner. John Callan now making his debut for Arsenal. Oh, he's 5'9", I was right. Okay. Come on, fuck, guys. I'm going to berate yous again. Yous aren't doing fuck all. This isn't giving me hope going out of the first league game of the season, by the way. I think we lost the Super Cup last year as well, didn't we? Not overtly bothered, but... I'm a wee bit bothered, that's all I am bothered, but... It's not the end of the world. Oh, I see they also have former Arsenal player Escalante in the midfield. I forgot we sold him to them as well. Fun. Yeah, we are losing this game 2-1 today. Nothing we are doing is making any impact on Newcastle, which genuinely is a concern. It is a concern. Just watching the time go by, knowing that we're not even going to get a chance, I don't think. I think we've had our luck for today. So many tired legs out there as well, which isn't helping. Right, we're kind of breaking now. And that's the end of the highlight, which is always good to see when you're in the middle of a break, isn't it? I know with the throw to Taboas. Yeah. Well done, Newcastle. You beat us. You've absolutely beat us. Great. Well, this hasn't went well, has it? Yeah. We've left empty-handed. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Join us in a minute. We'll come to the league game against Newcastle, and we'll go over the Club World Cup, which I completely forgot that we did. See you in a second. So yeah, we're back. Let's then talk about the Club World Cup. So we started off our group, which was Group H, with a draw against Brazilian side ATP. Diabate got the goal for us that equalised the game. We started that side game with a pretty much second string side. Slanina was in goals. It was Golasso, Van Langen, Arntz, McClelland, Solheim, Marin, Villegas, Vaz, Diallo and Diabate. Guilherme, Ernst, Derry and Jones all made appearances. And that's kind of how we treat the group stage, as just a second string side. We then beat Austin FC, American side, 3-1. A goal from Vaz and a double from Stefan Diabate. Then we had to draw, well, we didn't have to, but we drew against Benfica. We played in that game a more mix of first team and backup players. They scored the opener on the 59 minutes for a penalty. We equalised on 69. That gave us enough to get through into the knockout phases, where we played Barcelona. We beat them 3-2 after they went 2-0 up in 7 minutes. But a goal from Jake Laskowski in the 54th minute before another double from Stefan Diabate got us through that round, where we then faced Manchester City with an Antonio Villegas goal being the only difference between the two sides. We then had a 1-1 draw with Bayern Munich in the semi-final. They scored on 40th minutes before we equalised in the 91st minute through Luke Ernst. Then it went all the way to penalties where Solheim, Diabate, Vaz and Diallo scored, where they missed their second and fourth penalty, which then led to a replay, if you like, of the Champions League final. And by this point, by the knockout stage, we were treating this a bit more seriously. And we won very comfortably 3-0 against Atleti, with Sinval scoring a penalty, Lesueur getting the second, and Rodolfo Vaz making it 3-0 on the night. So we can now add the Club World Cup as another trophy in the cabinet and another continental, or I guess this one's intercontinental, trophy for us. Our lineup for today's game against Newcastle, first league game of the season away from home as well, is Norris in goals, Gomez, Laskowski, Estrada and Aina making up that back four, with an ever familiar defensive mid pairing of Guilherme and Malkov, with both players fit. Lesueur still out injured, and if we remember, Vaz is suspended for the first two league games of the season, so John Calland is starting his first ever league game for the club out wide right as a Ramdeuter. We could have played him as a inside forward, but I've decided to go for this. Yes, I have. Sinval will then play in the number 10 slot with Jordan Derry out wide. Unfortunately, Jones is still out injured, so Jason Van Duiven will lead the line. Yes, we could have picked him because he's still got a minor injury and he could maybe play a little bit. Same with Lesueur, but I'm just not risking it. It's a long season after all, and one game at the beginning of the season will not define our title challenge. On the bench, Alex Cotter, Van Langen, McClelland and Arntz. Marin, Cisse, Taboas, Diallo and Diabate all make up our bench for today. So let's see if we can put 3 points on the table and hopefully get off to a winning start. The one thing we have not checked this summer, and I have not checked at any point, is the season preview. I'm going to reckon with all the sales we've done, they're going to reckon we're going to finish fourth. Second, they think we're going to be second. Norris, Aina, Malkov and Lesueur make up the best 11 in their opinion. Interesting. But yeah, they think we're going to finish second behind Manchester City, but ahead of Liverpool, Newcastle and Manchester United. Interesting. Well, hopefully we can actually put up a good title challenge this year and not finish 8-9 points behind. Day, yes, I recognise Jordan Day. I did want to sign him, but was he at Everton? But the fee they wanted was ridiculous. Might have been Leicester, actually. It's like 130 odd million or something. And I just wasn't paying it because we don't really play with centre mids and he couldn't play DM at that point. Good interception from Calland as we start breaking already, but that's the end of the first highlight. Hopefully we can pick up results. The rest of the fixtures are Aston Villa versus Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool, Bristol City, who have just been promoted against also newly promoted Watford. I'm not sure actually. Fulham are taking on West Ham. As we watch us break away, before I even can even speak about the rest of the results. I don't know what that was, but Callan's now picked up the ball. He needs support. He's got it from Gomez. Van Duiven hits it straight off of a Newcastle defender and wins us a corner, which will be delivered by Derry. Fires it in. Nobody's anywhere near that to win it. I imagine this will be the end of the highlight. And it is. Other games are Hull versus Luton. I think Luton have... I thought Luton get relegated, so they also haven't. Hull, I think, have just come up, though. I don't remember playing Hull. Laskowski's been caught out dilly-dallying on the fucking ball. It's 1-0. Why do our defenders just have complete brain farts? Especially when one of them is one of the best defenders in the fucking world. The other game, is Manchester United and Derby. Well, I am furious, which is a good start to the season. Do we ever have anything that just goes smoothly? Genuinely. Derry with a corner. Can I actually pick out somebody in red this time? No. No, we can't. Strada with the ball over the top. Doesn't quite get to Callan. Derry still got it. Poor effort from Guilherme. Poor effort. Oh, God, no. It's 2-0 Newcastle. Oh my God, come on! This is actually poor from us. So bloody poor. Please no. Please no. Thank God for the save from Norris. Actually, thank God for a save from Norris there. Fucking hell. Why are we so pish? This is woeful. This is actually woeful. We're making some weird changes, but just roll with it. We're going to bring on Cotter to replace Callan so Gomez can play up on the wing. I'm going to bring on Diallo for Jason. And I'm going to bring on Diabate for Sinval just to try and do something, anything, to get us back in this game. Because right now we are nowhere near it. Nowhere fucking near it. So we're playing Diallo as a deep line forward. Sorry, we're going to be having Diabate as that shadow striker. What that should mean is Diallo will drop deep. Diabate will actually probably run in behind. So between the two of them, there should always be somebody kind of there. And it might cause a bit more of an upset in their defence. If they're, say, following Diallo, then they'll create space in behind. For Diabate, having Gomez as a winger, he'll just fire balls in at the box, with hopefully having Cotter a bit more defensively minded. Might help the defence out that little bit. That's the plan anyway. Okay, that was terrifyingly awful. Going to give him another couple of minutes, but I'm going to have to bring off Estrada. He is having a howler of a game. Right, Diabate now. Why? How hard is it to pass to a guy who's wearing fucking red and not black and white? Jesus Christ. Fucking, we have been turned over here. Absolutely just turned over. It's impressive how bad we are. Guilherme's just went down injured as I've made these subs. I cannot believe this start to the season. I have to put all my faith in this defence and back in goalkeeper over the summer. decided, you know what, yeah, we'll give them the chance. Then the first game of the season, the first league game of the season, they just fucking do this. Unfucking believable. Oh, jeez. I know, you seriously kidding me on here with that run? You would never know this is a controlled possession based team, how much they are not controlling the fucking possession. Oh my fuck. Well, I know I said the first game of the season isn't going to decide where the title goes, but my Christ, it's given a good indication of where it's not going right now. Unbelievable. Oh my god, no. Newcastle 4, Arsenal 0. This is not a good way to start a season. Unless Newcastle is going to be my bogey team this year, which I'll take, I guess, but... Weirdly, we have 2 weeks in game to our next game against Madrid. At least by then we'll have Lesour and Jones back. But that is not filling me with any form of confidence whatsoever. Next video, we're just going to come straight back. We're going to come back for the Man United game. We're going to come back for that Carabao Cup game. If I've made any signings, we'll see it then. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a thumbs up. Great helps out the channel. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. We're fucked.